Everybody, Matt, why do you laugh every opening? Why do you laugh every time?
I don't know. I don't know.
Too committed.
Featuring Jack. I wasn't in there, but Jack's here, obviously, as always. How's it going, everybody?
Hello there.
How's it going, crew here? And how's it going, chat? Looks like everyone's
Come on, Erwin, I did this for you. Where are you? I got the water mask. It's ready.
There.
It's right here.
Watto's here. Matt will be back soon.
Yeah.
Once
Hopefully.
Watto takes off. I've never seen Watto and Matt in the same spot, so.
Same
Can't
spit.
rule it out.
You know,
The same spit.
Jedi, what do you know? Only
I
money.
could talk about Kenobi. It's the last week I can make these stupid. I always have dumb props like ready. I mean, that's the point. I'm a
I
prop
have
guy.
a good one
do.
ready, but
I'm
I'm
a
not going to
prop
talk
guy.
about it yet.
I never have props. All right, good. Erwin's happy. I can take this off.
Now I'm happy.
Shit.
Surprised you could see that.
He was just like looking like this the entire time.
Literally,
just-
it
Yeah.
was like a little tiny hole. I was like,
And I know how Anthony Daniels felt in 3PO.
yeah,
Can't imagine.
Only be able to see a pinhole.
sipping through a straw. Through the
Any
hole.
anything other than Kenobi we want to get off our chest before we talk about this?
Pre-order
episode?
Shadow of the Sith.
Oh,
Pre-order it.
What?
Do it.
I'm dead serious.
Holy crap, I'm so
Pre-order
glad
Shadow of the Sith. It comes
I
out on
would've told you to get
Tuesday. It's by
Oh,
Adam
keyboard's not
Christopher.
working.
Well, we were gonna
It-
talk
it
about that
is-
at the
We're
end.
gonna talk about
but-
it a lot at the end, but I'm telling it right now. Pre-order Shadow of the Sith. You don't want to miss it. Period.
Yeah,
Can I
via
give some
TikTok.
advice to you as well? If
We'll
you
dive into deets
pre-order,
later, but
okay, well, if you pre-order Shadows of the Sith, also read Aftermath, all 3 Aftermath books. No, I'm kidding. But in Life Debt, after Chapter 6, read the interlude at Coronet City, and then in Empire's End, after Chapter 24, read the interlude on Deveron. That's all I'm gonna say. I spent all day looking for those interludes just so I could tell y'all.
Chad's got it pre-ordered.
And if you're
Um,
audio
And
person like
Millie's
me,
confused,
track 41,
apparently.
track 135.
yeah, we'll figure out those details eventually. But
Nikki.
Pre-order Shadow of the Sith, it takes place post Return of the Jedi, about 10 years after. Yeah, so about 5 years after the plot of Mandalorian. It
No,
follows
21
Luke.
ABY. 20 years. Almost.
Oh, 20 years. Jeez, pretty far.
Like
Um,
15,
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah, so it follows Luke and Lando and
10 years after Mando.
Rey's parents and Ochi of Bestoon and a lot
And
of
other
characters.
Other
and
characters that I'm not going to tell you, but holy
guys,
crap.
it's
Hold on, you're saying
so
Luke
good.
knew Rey's parents? What?
You'll
Well,
see.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the story of this book involves all of that.
You'll see. I
I'm
haven't
two
gotten that
chapters
far.
in. They're like
Gotten that far.
a
I'm so
million
skeptical,
good chapters
but-
in.
I'll see
Dude,
it
it's
there.
so good so far. I never
It's
read.
good.
I can't
Jack,
read.
I don't want to hear
I'm-
your slander.
It's too good.
Let's
I'm
just
just
say
joking.
it caters to all crowds. Sequel trilogy fans, original trilogy fans, a little bit of prequel fans as well. So
I mean,
Holiday special
I
fans.
want them to fill in the holes. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, oh.
There's a lot of
okay,
hole
this is
filling,
bold.
dude. Don't worry. Lots of hole
you
filling.
got to go fill those holes.
Well, you know, but do you know roughly about the plot of it, Jack, or no? I'm guessing not.
Of this book? No, I honestly flew
Okay.
way under the radar. This whole month has been a blur for me.
Right.
So-
yeah.
That's fair.
Same.
In The Rise of Skywalker, they talk about an adventure that Luke and Lando went on tracking Ochi down.
Right.
And that's what this book is. It's that adventure.
Okay.
And we know who Ochi
Interesting.
was looking for. So.
Yes.
Right.
Anywho, we're here to talk about Kenobi.
Yes,
Which this episode
Yeah.
was
Ochi.
tremendous. One of the
I
best
blown away.
episodes of Star Wars television there's been, I'd say. Top 5, top 3 for me at least. Top 3,
I-
Keith.
Top 3, Keith?
I could
It's
probably
hard.
say top 3, maybe.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think
it's-
Mando's #1.
the Marshall
easy.
episode of Mando is probably my favorite.
Yeah, if we're going like based on episodes, like not entire series, I'd say yeah, it's up there for the
Right.
favorite
Yeah, that's what I
episodes
meant.
of things.
By episodes, yeah.
Yeah, but I like the Marshall. I like From the Jedi Desert, whatever it's called. From the Desert Comes a
From
Stranger.
from the Jedi comes the desert.
Yeah, that one. That one. Love that
yep,
one.
that was a great one.
I mean,
So yeah, it would probably be top 3. Then I'd probably put Part 6 in
the
my
believer.
top 3. I like The Believer.
Believer's a really good episode.
I love
Oh,
it.
The
Yeah,
Believer
Believer's
is
just
great.
really great thematically, but like episodes like The Jedi are just
Well, I love The Jedi.
so much fan service.
Obviously, I love The Rescue. Is that the last episode of season 2 of Mando? Right.
I don't remember.
Well, now I know what you mean. It's
It's
okay.
called the Luke hallway.
The Luke hallway scene.
Yeah.
The holy
episode.
crap, Luke's in this episode, you guys.
Yep. And then
Hey, the
part
holiday special has moments. The animation part, the animated part of the holiday special is my favorite.
I like
Kenobi-
the Julia Childs part. With the
Kenobi on the whole,
Actually, I'm wearing the Cobb shirt.
it's definitely, yeah, I would agree. I think it's top 3 for me too. Only because like these characters I love so much that just getting to see them run around and do their thing again.
Well, I meant this episode.
Yeah,
Or
I
just-
wouldn't say.
Sorry, they're talking episode. I apologize.
Just this episode.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say
We,
the
at the
whole
end, we can
show.
talk about.
I mean, there's only 4 shows
shows.
anyway.
Let's
so.
reel it back in, guys.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
talk about Kenobi.
Yeah, let's
Let's
talk about.
part 6
Let's just dive in, I
from
guess.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Let's start where it starts.
Start where it starts. Riva on Tatooine.
That was convenient
her-
and fast, but
Yeah.
I suppose they didn't feel it was worth explaining how she found a ship or overcame the injury. But honestly, I kind of disagree. Minor nitpick, I admit.
I don't think
but,
she
like,
overcame the injury.
Well, yeah,
Definitely,
she
where
was.
the hell did she find a ship?
That looked like a pretty blood-stained rag because it was, kind of a deep red. So she didn't seem to be doing well. Although no, that wouldn't be bloody because it was red, but not because of blood. Because I mean, it's lightsabers cauterize wounds, except in A New Hope.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, unless you're Aqualish, their blood doesn't cauterize. That's
Right.
canon too. for some
Right.
reason.
She looked pretty
Um,
badass though, and like
I
disheveled.
liked her. I liked her in the robe.
Yeah.
wish she
and her
had,
hair
like,
was
a
like her hair
robe
was
the
more
whole time.
undone.
Yeah.
It was like it was a
cool.
cool
I
like
the,
beat
the
up.
showing of the
badass
falling
look.
apart.
Yeah.
It was good.
I thought it was
She took a
particularly
portal.
funny that she was just
Let's not start.
she just put on a robe over her complete
Over everything.
outfit, just like
But-
it was literally
That's a
just
lot
the
of-
Inquisitor
It's a
outfit,
lot of
and then
fabric.
That's the
It was-
cosplay I want to see.
But it wasn't like that bulky though. Like think like it wasn't like Rex wearing like the big poncho and he's like, "Hey."
He's like an action figure of Rex with a poncho.
That is like
what was that noise? I love that noise.
Where-
Well, that was
But-
animation, so like I don't know
Yeah,
why they
but,
did
like,
that.
he looked awful. Why didn't he take his like thing off? I think about that like a lot. That's like one of my like favorite like random like fan arts. Is like literally just like Rex wearing the poncho and the caption just says, "I am normally shaped."
But yeah,
Anyway.
Moses Ingram was tremendous
She
as
was
Riva.
Yeah.
incredible.
I had a-
100%.
Yeah,
She crushed it. That ending like cry session.
yeah.
Very
I mean,
good.
That was intense.
she's
My-
probably one of my favorite Inquisitors, even though she was kind of like a fake Inquisitor. Like she was there to get revenge on Vader, so she was like undercover for herself, right?
Yeah.
So, but it all
Yeah.
fell apart. But she was
My
it was
biggest
cool
thing,
arc.
I love that her arc did not end with her dying. Like
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
the biggest thing. I'm glad that she survived the entire show because obviously it opens it up for more storytelling, but like there was no reason that she needed to die. Like if Vader wanted her dead, he would have actually like killed her then and there. So there's more plans for her.
I really hope so because I want to
Definitely.
see more for Riva for sure. Now that she's
Yeah.
kind of, I love. This was one of the biggest complaints people had with killing Ben Solo off, right? It was just you want to see the redemption. You don't want to see just they redeem themselves and then they die. You want to see like
which is
them
what it always is in
atone.
Star Wars. Yeah.
You want to see the atonement, and I think Riva was obviously not like a direct response to the complaints about Ben Solo, but I could see that being, well, we haven't really seen a character atone except for like, who
we
was
really,
Callus?
we really haven't.
I mean, Callus,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Callus just jumped ship. He didn't like.
Wait.
Yeah,
They-
he just changed sides. I mean, like
Also,
if anything,
Hello,
Hey.
Art. How's it
um,
going? How's it going, man?
for Riva, it opened the door for her to go. It opened the door to redemption for her because she made the decision not obviously to not kill Luke, and then she's obviously not healed, and Obi-Wan's just like, all right, she throws away the saber, and he's like, you're on your way, and so like
All right,
it's
go
she's
find
not
whatever
fully
ship you found
redeemed,
before.
but like she is
In
on the way,
classic-
which is like what you need.
In classic Marauder fashion, we're at the end of the episode. As we're
Hey,
talking about the beginning
We
of it.
started talking about Riva, and we kindly
Kind
What's
of.
going on, Levi?
Levi, we got to talk about
Hello.
Shadow
So
of the
there's-
Sith at some point.
Riva was a tremendous. Want to see more of her? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we will. The way they left it. in some way, shape, or form. And Roken is another character I want to see a lot more of.
Hell
and that
yeah,
kind
dude.
of that's a good transition of
He
where the
literally
episode
says,
goes next.
We're just getting started. Like,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
how
glad
much more
people have, like-
open-ended is that?
Yeah.
I'm
good.
so
Well,
glad
I mean,
people have attached to him. I was afraid like he wouldn't be a popular character, but he's super popular.
He's just
People love
likable. I
Roken.
mean,
Oh, Shane's a
who
great
wouldn't?
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, ever since I saw Straight Outta Compton, I was like, okay. I mean, clearly this runs in the family in a way. Like,
And
this is great.
Godzilla Boston. Right.
Yeah. Oh, right.
No, I'm joking,
Was he
but
in
he was
that?
in that.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
for,
he was one of like the
for, a little bit.
soldier
I
guys.
I blurred out of most of the second Godzilla movie. It wasn't very
As
good.
you should have.
What do you call it? Yeah, I really liked his character, but I felt like some of his lines were. I think he did a great job delivering these lines, but I think sometimes his lines were a little like maybe it's him as a character. He often flip flops. Like he goes from being like, "No, you can't do this," to be like, "All right, let's do this." Like very quickly, like he did it in his first appearance, and then like this time he's like, "We're done. We're busted. Ship's broken. There's no way we can get out of it." And then Obi-Wan's like, "Fine, all right. Listen, I'll draw him away." And it's like, "No, you can't do this. You don't have to do this. You know that, right? Like, I can fix this." Like, you literally just said it's totally toast. Like,
I
which
hope
one
that's-
is it?
I hope that's part of his character, and for the
Yeah.
rest of like every appearance he comes
in
in,
there.
he's like, "No, I don't want to do it," and then he'll be like, "Nah, never mind, I'm gonna do
gonna
it."
do it.
Like every
Yeah.
single
Yeah,
time,
I
they
would
just
love that.
continue that flip flopping Roken stuff. I'd love
As long
that.
as it's consistent, I'm happy with
There
that.
you go.
'cause
Yeah.
It seems like almost like a character trait how much it happened.
I really loved him and Obi-Wan talking there on the ship, and Obi-Wan's like, Roken, like, I have to, this is the only plan. Like, I have to split off here. And Ewan's acting once again was just amazing in that scene, like how desperate he was to go sacrifice himself, essentially.
He's like, "You want to do this?" And
Yeah.
One's like,
Yeah.
"I guess."
I
Like, what the
have
hell does
to.
that
See,
mean?
Quinlan's not the only one who could do this sort of thing. Okay, I can help out too.
I think that, well, the
He's gonna
biggest
one
thing
up Quinlan.
for
Always.
Roken, regardless, is it's clear he's a really strong leader, and it's clear that he's really passionate about what he does, and those are just
Yeah.
two things that I just really want to like see more of, and I just want to see so much more of the path. Like there
Yeah, I
is
saw
so
it.
much
Yeah.
potential.
I would love a
with the
show
path.
about the path. Jamie and
And
I were
Reva.
talking.
Yeah,
Open the
AJ,
path.
give her idea. AJ, give her idea.
So this is off track, but
It's okay.
was our idea just the path showing up in the Bad Batch?
Yes, that's
That would
the
be
plan.
great. That'd be the beginning of the path.
Is that how we
And
find
the-
Gunji?
That'd be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
That's
think
how
it
maybe
really-
Gunji's
yeah.
introduced.
Because
Having
like
the Bad
AJ
Batch
and I-
involved would do.
we were like saying it'd be really cool if it was somehow founded with like the rogue clones to be in like their guilt, just like helping. But like we don't know for sure, but just like theorizing wise, like that'd be like really cool. And
That's
then
where
can
Hauser
sprinkle
is.
the-
other Jedi along the way, and
You
then
can sprinkle the path
Right.
like in all these shows,
you
sort of.
could, yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can put it in Jedi Survivor.
Yep.
That'd be awesome. If Cal is either helping or a part of it.
I want to
Um,
see Reva part of the path. That's what I want to see. If we're going to continue this, I mean, it doesn't have to be
Word
Obi-Wan
first.
season 2, but if we want to continue stuff that was introduced in Obi-Wan, I want to see Reva and the path combined. I want to see
Definitely.
her.
That would be the
helping out.
perfect redemption for her. Like
Exactly. And I would
going
absolutely
from being an Inquisitor to part of hunting Jedi to saving Jedi.
Exactly.
Would be like perfect.
I would
would
love
have
for
to
her to get a rematch with Vader and die, but get a rematch with Vader as a good guy, not like as
Yeah.
like a bad guy, but like as the like hero of whatever story she has. I
Quinlan,
really
Roken,
want
and
that.
Reva. That's
Wow.
the big three right there.
Well, that's the thing. Like Obi-Wan says at the end, there's like, what you do now
Thank you,
is up
Art.
to you. So, she knows they exist, and she knows kind of like she might even know how to find them from there. So it's entirely possible. I think the most telling thing of all, and this is so silly, but like they're usually so intentional about how things are worded. Every other miniseries has always been a series finale, but they keep
Yeah.
saying season finale.
Season finale.
And Deborah Chow and Ewan have both kind of stated how like there's still more stories to be told, and I think they're definitely gunning for it. And it sounds like we probably should expect something, but I wouldn't hold. Like me, I'm never gonna hold my breath until I get the actual announcement. But
Matt and
it's
I were
just so
talking about
strange
this.
that they call it season finale, because that's
Yeah.
Right.
you only say that when there's another season to be had.
Well, I mean,
Otherwise, it's a
they're.
series
I think
finale.
it's because they're very open to it. Like Kathy Kennedy the other day said, if people eat this up and really like this, we'll probably do a season 2. So I think they're just who hasn't liked this show? I mean, there's people that haven't, as I predicted, because there's people who don't like anything. people say their favorite food's pizza. You give them pizza, they don't like it. So
If Disney gives them pizza.
Disney gives them pizza,
And it has hair in it, like at Pizza Planet. Shout out to Zach.
I wouldn't want to see a season 2 of Kenobi, like kind of what you were saying. I'd like to see spin-offs. Like I don't want a show about Reva to be called Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know.
He's just got the outfit. I want to see him do more stuff in that outfit.
But
Yes,
see,
he did.
I would too, but I think people would think it's like a lamer show. Like you just had Vader and Kenobi facing off. Like you're not gonna have that again. It would go. I would still enjoy it if he's just on Tatooine.
It would be a different show because this time it would be him and Qui-Gon, and it would be like a whole meditative season.
I would think that would be
stuff.
cool, but I don't think people are already complaining, and we just had Kenobi and Vader, which we'll get to in like a second, dueling. It's gonna be for those people. I'm saying it's gonna be less, and they're gonna be bored.
Well,
And I would love it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not often we swear on this show.
I'm sick of them.
You're right, Jack.
Jack, if you want to see Obi-Wan in that costume doing more stuff,
I do need to read that.
Oh my God.
I know a
The
lot. I know the whole
cheer.
story of it, but
Oh
I've
my
never actually
God.
read it myself.
We're not there, but the cheering that I did once I noticed he was wearing this outfit.
no,
It was-
Yeah, I was like, it's all those goggles. I'm like, wait, hold the phone. He's wearing,
Hold the
he's wearing
phone.
He's got the
tunic.
action
Is he
figure
gonna put it
outfit.
back? Oh my god, he did it.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kenobi splits off from the pack. We also got some great music during that Star Destroyer
yes,
chase scene. Very A New Hope-ish, right?
yes, finally.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it was
that was
good,
probably
good
some of the
music cues there.
best score of the show so far, other than the main theme. That was really good. But what do we think of the Vader Kenobi rematch?
I loved it.
that was very satisfying.
I really, really loved it. I'm gonna be the first to admit, and I know I might get like headhunted for this, but that's not the right word. Whatever. I might get strung up for this.
Or something.
Look, I don't
I'm interested
actually
what you're
really
gonna
like the Anakin Obi-Wan duel at the end of Episode 3. I'm not a big fan of it.
I like-
that is a
I like
spicy
the
take.
very
I think it's
end of
pretty
it.
weak.
Okay, fair enough.
I like the very end of it. But
I really
Yeah,
don't like
it
the
does have
balancing
its-
on pipes, the swinging around like Tarzan, the balancing on droids.
You don't like them spinning for like a solid 5 seconds
Don't
without
like them
ever
spinning.
making contact.
I think that duel is so over the top and egregious, and it really takes me out of it. It's
Probably why
really
they undercut it
it's like,
with
ugh.
Art's gonna be
Yoda
mad,
and
I guess.
Palpatine, because
I'm
if you had
sorry,
to
Art.
watch that in one cut, you'd probably be able to like more like it'd be a lot easier to see how bombastic and ridiculous it is that they're like, hey, let's run over to this scaffolding. All right, now let's swing at each other while lava's flinging
my
at us.
God.
That's the other
Yeah,
thing.
Can I
that's
just,
hilarious.
can I just laughing really hard when Vader got pelted? Me too.
That was
Wait,
great.
hold on.
That was a
I want to
moment.
point out something.
Me too.
We got another one of those patented awful Darth Vader noises where he goes like, "Oh."
yeah,
It's so good. He gets, if you watch that scene, dude, he gets clocked right in the nuts and makes like "Oh" sound. It is
Oh,
so
that
good.
sound. I love the
cannot-
Vader Wheeze. Give
I
me some Vader Wheeze
absolutely
any day.
love when
Oh,
Darth Vader makes
God.
like those ridiculously stupid sounds. And we got a prime one in this episode.
It
We
was
got,
good.
the
Like, it
best
was-
one.
It was a good fight. Like, first
It was a
off,
great
it's
fight.
this.
I loved it.
It's
Got
this
the
moment,
pose.
which
Love the
like
pose.
cheers, incredible,
gotta
had to
have it.
happen.
Obi-Wan's
Um,
gonna poke your eyes out.
It's so good.
That I will do.
Um,
I'll do
I
what
will
must.
allow him. The fight was good. It was really good. Like
was good.
the entire time, like it was like at moments like video gamey with just like the mechanics of it with like.
it was a
rocks.
video game
But
fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back
for
to
what
back
it
at
was,
times.
a duel in which we knew neither of them
Like,
was
look at
going
this.
to die. It still works. It works.
Ladies
Oh.
and gentlemen,
It's the
I
same
implore
scene.
you.
Chad knows what I'm
I
talking
implore
about.
you.
So
Oh, God.
my friend who is a huge Kenobi fan has been kind of sour on parts of it, and I can't really represent his frustrations perfectly, but one thing that he asked of me was, why do you not like SC-38 but you like this? And I think for me the reason is
what's SC-38?
SC-38.
Oh, that's fair. I should explain that.
The
So
recreation.
it's a fan recreation where they took the A New Hope fight because it's a little tame. It's mostly just some fencing. Obi-Wan does a spin. There's not much to it. So their idea was, hey, let's expand this out into a bigger, more emotional fight. And the CGI is really rough, especially on the face tuning on Obi-Wan I'm not a big fan of that. And then it is a little too bombastic, and they used like audio from not Duel of Fates, Battle of Heroes.
Battle Heroes.
And it's just very heavy-handed, and it doesn't fit because they start with 70s cinematography and then they end with 70s cinematography. So it's like, hey, this totally fits. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. The camera work is totally different, and it's very it doesn't feel right because they're both very old and broken and bitter. Here, this is still 10 years out, and getting to see them still they are not quite so worn down yet, and getting to see them still where they still got something to give to this fight was awesome. Especially when Obi-Wan had his Peter Parker moment, I thought he might have been a little toast there.
That was
but then
something.
He's like, nope,
What'd
I
you
got
guys
it, which
think
is fair.
What do you think
if
of
you
him
can
getting
hold down
buried
the
by
ocean.
rocks?
If he can pull the ocean on the moon, forget the name, where
Nur.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he can hold an entire ocean's weight on Nur, he can handle some rocks.
More than those
So
rocks,
here's
yeah.
the-
I think
Here's what I think about those rocks. They lifted it from a story that I wrote myself, first of all.
Really?
Just kidding.
you wrote The Last Jedi.
Yeah. What? No. Yeah. So I think that it worked really well. I think that it was effective as well, because Vader just wanted to end things, and he thought that he succeeded. I think it worked pretty well. I think
What a
that
weird way to it's
also-
almost like Vader wanted to end it and then be like, I still want to have hope that he's out there, because you want to cut someone's head off if you want to kill them, being
I
Vader.
know.
That's
Well, he was gonna keep going, and then Palpatine pulled him back because he knew if he kept digging, he'd find out about his kids.
Hey, there he is.
Or maybe he does. I don't know if Palpatine knows about his kids.
I don't think
I don't
that's
think he
a whole
does.
different thing. I don't think
Yeah.
Palpatine knows. I think
That's a
that's
good
a shock.
That's the whole can of worms. But yeah, that moment where and it is very similar to the scene in Rebels, where his helmet gets cut for a second.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
Except it's the
we get
opposite
to see
side.
in. That was such a great moment, and I think someone already mentioned in the chat, and I love it and want to lampshade it, where he, the lighting is kind of blue around him still when he's still, and the audio is still Hayden, even though it's a
I
beautiful
loved that.
mix. That was so cool.
I loved how it was
Unbelievable.
blended at this. It was
That blew
The voice
me away.
mix was amazing.
'Cause
The
then
when he-
dialogue was
Switching
so
back
good.
and forth, and
Yeah.
then he says the line, you didn't kill Anakin,
Yeah.
I did.
And then he smiles.
Then he smiles, and it turns red fully.
Ooh, ha, ha, ha.
It's like
Well, that's just it, right? Because this and Rogue One
it.
both share a meaningful thing, and my problem with 1, 2, and 3 as prequels is that they don't answer any questions I couldn't have already inferred from watching the original trilogy. Don't get me wrong, I love all 3 of those movies, but that's the problem with doing a prequel, is that the stakes are already set for characters who exist in the original trilogy. We know where they're going to end up. You can't really make me worried about their safety, like with Luke. However, a good prequel will resolve plot holes, will answer questions that the original story didn't effectively answer properly, or that, say in this case, that the prequels didn't fully tie in as well as they could have. And so here, the way Obi-Wan treats him by the end of that duel, it's being like later Darth.
yeah.
Yeah,
Later
oh my
Darth.
god.
Oh,
Later
And,
Darth is the
Later Vader.
best line he could have had.
with Anakin saying that he killed him, with Darth Vader saying that he killed Anakin, himself saying it, Obi-Wan's absolved of the whole certain point of view thing, hey man, listen, from the horse's mouth,
Yeah, right. You're right.
that dude is dead.
So-
Anakin's gone.
Brent Age of Grogu on, I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but he had this theory or idea, you'll like this, Matt, that Ahsoka took off one piece of Vader's helmet in a fight, right? Obi-Wan did it, which other way around in order. And then Luke was the only one that could take the whole helmet off.
Oh, that's
Isn't that good?
Brent, you
tasty.
are. I love you, Brent.
Classic Brent.
Love you. That's great.
That's good.
That's great.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
No, it really was. And honestly, this was the first lightsaber fight we've had since Rise of Skywalker. The first big, large-scale lightsaber fight like finale lightsaber fight that we've had since the Rise of Skywalker. It's been 3 years since we've had like.
What'd you guys think of the style?
I
didn't. But you know how everyone's been saying like, oh, they want that prequel style back and everything. I thought a lot of the fight, especially the beginning, was very Force Awakens Forest-esque. Like the way they were kind of going through
prequels. They do a bunch of lightsaber spins.
There were some baseball bat moments though.
This
fight
was
I like the baseball.
so similar, obviously, to the beginning of the fight on Mustafar, but it was so similar to the fight on Crate in the beginning.
Whoa, wait a minute! Why didn't I bring this up already? Holy crap!
Because
the way that Obi-Wan approaches him, it pretty much is essentially like Kylo saying to Luke, "Did you come to save my soul?" It's
except
not to
did
mention,
you come to kill me.
Not to mention, right before
like prequel vibes, I got
right
that
before
duel first.
Right before that, Grand Inquisitor is like, "Oh, let's follow, the Resistance."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I'm going after my old master. I hate this old crap." Like,
no, it's
the same. It's similar.
So good. Then there's like the flat landscape. Obi-Wan standing on one side. Shuttle lands. Ramp comes down. Darth Vader steps out. Did you come to kill me? And he's like, I will do what I must.
Do you guys think
they
that
both save Leia?
Unbelievable.
The fight choreography has changed at all? Like it feels slightly different with these stunt sabers because like back in the prequel days, they just had sticks and they would throw the effects over it. And there's a flicker that's kind of missing these days. That's like super subtle and like at the end of the day, who cares? But like it's interesting how like the lighting is amazing and I really enjoy how overpowering it is. And some people may not, but for me it just
I like it.
That was always missing was like where's the bathing glow of light that we see in every other CGI piece of media that has where lightsabers are used. As
Matt once said on our show, they put lights in the lightsabers.
It just feels like the way they swing them now. Like, they are going ham in some moments, but in other moments, I don't know. It feels a little more reserved, because they were breaking lightsabers left and right. But like,
I agree.
You don't want to smash those LEDs.
Yeah, no, I can see that, and I can definitely see them kind of being more reserved with the choreography, not to break the toy lightsabers. They basically just have like,
well, don't you have to kind of be
lightsabers?
As far as the choreography, don't you have to be kind of more reserved with Vader? He can't you can't be like Anakin flipping around. Like Vader's whole thing is he moves menacing and slowly, kind of like Michael Myers or something.
It's true. Even with Reva, his torso was still rock solid for that whole thing. Yeah, that's a good point. He is a very.
Torso.
Although
I love that Obi-Wan used his like chest thing against him, like actually breaking it.
He like punched it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of using the hilts.
There's a good punch in there.
You can tell he was still holding back a bit with Vader,
What'd you
still
think
hoping
of
for Anakin to
I
be
love
there.
when there's a punch in a lightsaber fight.
What'd you think of Vader's ground punch?
I
like
love
breaking
that.
the ground. Like that was, we never really seen
I thought it
something
was a little
like
corny, but I thought it was really good, and I thought it was definitely something Vader would do. So I thought
Where
like,
the
it
hell
was
were
good
they?
that it was
Definitely a
him.
good down B move.
We don't know.
Okay, so we don't know. That wasn't Jabim.
No. I think it was just some moon or something. Very dark, as a lot of the planets have been. It was very dark.
The way
And I
that
think
we
that was to show how bright the lightsabers are. I'm guessing.
When we watched this episode, like I was on like at a weird angle to the TV, and so like it was very dark, and like the entire time I was like, am I watching the show?
Oh my god!
I can't see shit. That's
it was
neither
very
in the
dark.
Look how dark it is.
So dark. It reminded me
not
of
that
watching
bad.
like Battle of the Bastards. It was so dark.
It is.
Oh my god! Yeah.
It did
That
feel.
was
I had the same
brutal.
thought. It did feel that way. Alex Lethal in the chat I had the same thought. Obi-Wan definitely went the ways of some roly-poly.
There you
That's
go.
great.
You gotta
Vader's the
roll.
Dark Souls
You
boss.
gotta roll.
Yeah.
You got to roll behind him. That's the trick. They want you to roll backwards. That's when you get smacked. Obi-Wan knows.
I really like the setting though, and I really like that they used the environment around them to actually inflict damage and fight. Like actually using the rocks was
cool.
Good
really
rock
cool.
throwing.
I really like
very video game.
Any day.
this place. Felt really grand. This felt like a place to have a final duel. The first duel took place at like a quarry
Boston
that
Sand
literally
Gravel.
Boston Sand and Gravel, and I was like, I love the duel, but I don't like the location.
All right, guys, field trip. That's what we're doing this weekend.
We know a couple Vaders. We can make this happen.
And Leo, you're probably exactly right. They make things dark because
hope so,
That's That's why every heavy CGI scene has rain, fog, or it's at night.
Or it's at night. That's
Yeah,
why every Marvel
it
movie
hides all of
has
it.
a big fight at night. You know,
Nighttime's more like epic too, I guess, right? Like if Vader and
It's like,
Obi-Wan
oh,
are
you
just
made
dueling during the day, it's like
It's epic because it's like you made me get out of bed to do this. Like, come on, man, let's just get it over with, and
Right,
then they
that's why
go
I'm
for
here.
it.
The worst example of using darkness to hide bad CGI for me was Wonder Woman '84. Cheetah at the end was.
oh my
pretty
God,
rough.
yes, you're right.
This-
haven't seen it.
You're
Haven't
right.
seen it
To
yet.
see it.
It's good only
I say
because
that.
Pedro Pascal is literally chewing every
he's so good.
wall
He was so
in
good in
every
that.
scene, and he's committed. I love that man and everything he does. Yeah, there's plenty of dung worms in that movie. So yeah, can we talk about the wonderful use of Joel Edgerton? Like,
dude,
I was very nervous this
Yeah.
whole show that they were just gonna waste Joel on the
And
first
Bonnie.
2 episodes.
Yeah.
And Bonnie, yeah.
Yep.
They're both fantastic this episode.
I gotta check my Twitter poll.
Heck,
I,
even though
um,
Luke.
She's winning. But yeah, I love how that entire sequence came about.
3,000
Owen
people.
yeah, AJ casually tweeted, "Who's the most powerful person?" And Star
Who's
Wars
the most
was like,
badass
"Oh,
Star Wars character? Vader,
Yeah.
Maul, Boba Fett, or Aunt Beru? And
then-
3,000 people voted. And
because
Aunt
this-
Beru has 47%. So
Because
Holy
official Star
crap.
Wars was like, "Oh yeah, it's Beru." They're like, "We're the Beru crew," and it's just like Star
and
Wars.
some people
Thank
were
you.
like,
Thank
"What?"
you.
And I'm like, clearly it's a joke.
like relax, guys.
Owen is a very, very bad shot. He could have taken care of this whole thing in one
Oh
go.
yeah.
I know.
Scrolling it back,
Back
like I
to
love
Owen and
how
Beru.
Owen is like, "We need to fight," or no, "We need to leave. We need to run," and Beru's just like, "All right, I've been preparing for this day for like the
Listen,
longest time," and
Why do
she's
you think we
just
have
ready.
these?
She
is
does
just
it again
ready.
in the comics. She whips
She's
out.
ready.
She has like a gun.
She
Look at her.
she's the one
Yeah.
who freed Shmi Skywalker. So I mean, she's
That's
like,
great.
listen, I don't like the slavery stuff. I'm just gonna do something about it personally. Okay.
I was like fully prepared for both of them because they defending their house against Black Chrysanthemum. It's a little different from Reva, but they do the same tactics. They whip out their blasters. They're beating them up.
But then they lose to stormtroopers. Allegedly.
Well,
Might have been
they-
Boba
Maybe
Fett
they put up
in
a
my
really
head
good
canon.
fight. Who knows?
There's probably a couple troopers around back or like in like the lower area that got and then they tried to force their way up and got burned.
They actually got
Right.
burned
Hyrule
because of a
troopers.
gas leak. Guys, check your
It's
your
like
gas
in
meters.
James Bond, it was a gas leak. It might have been the moisture evaporators, those things.
Don't leave your ovens on.
You gotta check those.
Check your gas meters, everybody, please. If you have
Your
a gas
blue
stove
Milk
at home.
makers.
When you're done
Yeah.
cooking, make sure all your dials are set to that 3 o'clock.
But yeah, Beru and Owen and Beru, they were great. And we see
Owen,
baby
Owen,
Luke, Owen and Beru.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
got
God.
dangerously
Baby
close
Luke.
to seeing a lightsaber. when he
Dangerously
didn't.
close, but he did not. I know a lot of
He did
people are
not. I know.
complaining that he
He did
did,
not.
but he
What are-
clearly
Nah,
didn't.
he was running out there.
What are your thoughts on Luke being chased through the desert by an Inquisitor?
I was fine with that.
I mean, it's
Because
fine, but
they
it's
pretended they first of all they told him it was a Tusken Raider. So this kid
true.
is like, that's not a Tusken Raider.
That's
And
not.
let's also be real
yeah,
though.
right.
Like,
He's
Luke's
not dumb.
perception is not 100%.
Dude,
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
Dumbo.
When he's a
fine.
kid.
Luke's a
Whiny little
Dumbo.
kid.
He doesn't know nothing. Doesn't know
Yeah.
anything.
I thought it was great. I like how like he didn't do much, if that's a thing to say. I like how little Luke didn't do a lot. I like how he just like ran through the desert and then he slipped and he hit his
And then he
head.
slipped.
You like how little
I
Luke
really-
did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find
I-
it really
I-
brave that
The
they
kid was
uh,
great though. The kid was
They
great.
He did a
de-aged
He
good
was.
Mark
job.
Hamill for this. Very brave that they de-aged Mark Hamill. They brought
Yeah,
him
hell of a
in.
de-aging job.
You can't have
Dude, this
anybody
is
else
getting out
play
of
Luke. It
hand,
has to be
man.
Mark
This is
Hamill.
insane.
So they
Did
clearly
anyone-
just de-aged him.
Did anyone else get some Jake Lloyd vibes in a good
Oh, yeah.
in like a good
Yeah,
way
yeah.
when he
I
was
think
in
Look
that's
at
the
that
the point.
market?
haircut. Look at
That's
that
the
haircut.
point.
Look at
No,
that
no, no, no.
outfit.
Like the way he delivered his lines in the little market where Owen got the bad news.
He had
like-
lines.
I don't even
Oh
remember what he
yeah,
said.
they go into the shop and they need like,
like
a
their
new
thing
tread
broke.
and Owen's like, someone broke it, and Luke's like,
Oh yeah.
"Uh."
Yeah,
And
he's
then
like,
later he
this,
says,
this
"I'm not
thing broke.
scared."
We need one of these. He's like, well, someone did it.
And he calls Uncle Owen a sleemo.
Your uncle's a very patient man.
Hey, Seleno.
I
I really like
yes.
Reva carrying back Luke. Reminded me a lot of Anakin carrying back Shmi. It was kind of a similar little thing. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
No, that's a good
I
observation.
didn't think of it that way. That's good.
Thank you.
I really liked the foil, and my girlfriend brought this up, so I got it to her. But she pointed out how like Reva's choices reflect Anakin / Vader's choices, but she made the right choice a lot sooner than he did.
Oh yeah.
No, that's absolutely right. That's
Because like the whole time, like she's the same way like Anakin was, and the same way Ahsoka was in the beginning, but just obviously with a lot more hate in her heart.
Right.
But showing that same passion and arrogance and overconfidence, and then yeah, just it was nice that turned into her realizing, no, the last thing I want to be is like Anakin Skywalker, and I refuse to.
And it was so great.
Make the same choice.
We got that right after we see the scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan, or Vader and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Because we see how evil Anakin is now, or Vader. I'm still gonna call him Anakin when he does the helmet off. We see how evil he is, but we see Reva like crying and like feeling remorseful, and it's not even close to what we just saw with Vader. So it's like, oh, clearly you're not what he is. So
yeah. She delivered those lines like just there's so much weight behind it. Like she's so wrought with anguish in the way that she was struggling with the choice that she almost made. I mean, to kill a kid, that's even if you don't, and the fact that you almost do is something that will sit with you for a long time. And there'll be a lot of guilt just in making that.
In the fandom, that like, oh, Anakin killed kids, ha ha ha, funny. But in reality, that's about as low as it goes.
Those memers got a lot of material this season.
Holy crap! Yes.
Someone has a siren in the background.
I almost thought that. Oh yeah, sorry, that was me. My new place is a little noisier. Matt, the way you said "holy crap" was, I swear to God, I thought AJ pressed the soundbite button.
Holy crap!
Holy crap! There it is.
It was great.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Obi-Wan, Ewan's been talking about how he had trouble finding his voice for this era of Obi-Wan, and how it couldn't be quite what he did in the prequels, and it couldn't quite be an Alec Guinness impression.
Yeah,
we all know how those can sound.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, he really. I think everyone watching that moment where he finally gets to go talk to Luke.
Oh yeah.
Like, when he said goodbye, Darth, the way he said Darth reminded me of like a nice in between of almost Alec Guinness. So that was good.
I mean, like that's what he's always like done, because like he's like he knew obviously he was eventually going to be Alec Guinness, and so like he tried to like do like the voice in like that like way, and so like he knew it was gonna get to like that point eventually. So
I'm glad you bring up voices because I think this is the best way to transition to maybe my favorite thing in the episode. I made a little recreation. No one's going to understand this. We always reference the Phantom Menace game. Jack, you're pretty familiar with the game.
Oh, yeah.
So I used some voiceovers from the video game.
Just play the video.
Pause the music.
I'll pause the music.
Pause the music.
I can still play the music. It's fine.
Okay.
Obi-Wan! Everything has been quiet, Master.
I'm looking for a T-14 hyperdrive generator. The door is open. Let's go.
My apologies if the audio blew you out of your room.
It's the zoom in at the end that like gets me. Like the visible happiness.
I put that together last night. I had to, because we always make fun of their voices in that. We always say doors open, let's go.
Doors open.
Doors open. Let's go.
In the first level of the game, Qui-Gon yells at you to open the door. So
he also yells at you.
Oh yeah. Doors open. Let's go.
Yeah.
If you ran into us in Celebration, we said some version of doors open. Let's go. At one point, we were just like, groups here. Let's go. Oh, food's over there. Let's go. I'm not.
I
even
do the
kidding.
same.
Like,
I do the same thing with Kyle. Anytime I'm at a locked door, I'm like, it's locked.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, we talk about Kyle all the time too. Jeez, it's cold in here.
Jeez, it's cold.
Jeez, it's freezing in here.
Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon.
Getting Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon.
Oh. So I talked
sure
about it in the first episode, and I feel so vindicated now because.
Oh
my goodness. Oh, it's glorious.
Oh my
I'm so
God.
happy. Oh, the legend.
And if you didn't tear up during this scene, then
I was ugly tears.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like the two things that I wanted after I finished watching Revenge of the Sith in the theaters was one, damn, I want to see more Alderaan. Two, wait, hold up. You were gonna show Qui-Gon. Can I see Liam Neeson in Blue Ghost form, please? Can I please get my Blue Ghost Neeson?
Thank God.
And oh my God, so much closure.
It was just perfect, and I loved everything. It was only like 3 lines, but it was still just oh so perfect, and just like the smile that Obi-Wan had, that he had like made the connection again, and it was just perfect, and I was bawling. I'll be honest, I didn't have too many like emotional reactions to this show until literally this moment. I'm like I like can't see. I'm crying so much. It was. I haven't
the
cried that
Leia
much with Star Wars since been seeing Han Solo in Rise of Skywalker. Like that was the other time. 'Cause I didn't know that was gonna happen. I lost it. But yeah,
Obi-Wan and little Leia, their last scene together,
That made me tear
and
up.
this, you didn't tear up for Qui-Gon?
I was smiling my ass off, but I wasn't crying. I was just like, I
I'm
was like
disappointed.
clap worthy or like stand up and
You're off-
applaud
you're off
kind
the
of
show.
feeling. But I didn't cry. I did
No.
cry when
No,
I
but
was
yeah.
clapping, I was
I
kicking,
don't know what
I
it-
was crying.
I don't know what it was about or what it was so like tear jerking for the Obi-Wan Leia part, but it got me too. I don't know.
Talking to Leia about
never
her
separate
parents.
a girl from her droid. And
Yeah.
then he calls her princess, and then he talks about Padme, not in name, but just like
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
Anakin.
just too
He's like,
friggin'
damn it,
good.
I'm still gonna honor my friend. And I'm
And Matt, I thought it was, and the music was similar because I think it was like the Luke Leia theme or whatever, but it was very similar to the beginning of The Spark, which I think is that little musical cue.
It is.
And it reminded me of the little conversation that Luke and Leia had before he goes out. So it was, I don't know.
I
it
can
was
see that.
A
I
lot
can
of
definitely see
TLJ.
there
parallels
was
in
a
this.
ton of TLJ influences in this episode for sure. But really, that scene was incredible, and you know, you getting Liam Neeson back even for a split second, you know, last minute cameo with 3 lines was just unbelievable.
like honestly, that's kind of all you needed. But again, I would take a whole season of just him just training Obi-Wan and them having like a
me too.
introspective journey. Oh my goodness, I would take it all, even if it meant more Tatooine for an entire season. I would shoulder that.
If it gives us Qui-Gon, I'll take Qui-Gon in any form.
Yeah, anytime. I liked that. Do you think Kenobi would be a little embarrassed to know that he was the one who inspired Leia to take up such an uncivilized hobby?
no.
I mean, like he gave her the holster, but it's just
No.
like
Oh, okay.
I was just like
It's a good question.
silly
But
joke.
I'm glad she
No,
had it. And she put Lola in the
You could use
holster.
Tala's holster. Yeah. Oh my god, that was
That
so
was a Jamie move. Jamie always puts the porg in the holster. And I liked
Awesome
how
moment.
Brea was like, I like it, because she, she's great, but she was kind of
She's
been a
great.
stiff with the get
Yeah.
ready, gotta be a politician, gotta do this. But they're great parents. Bale,
They really are.
Bale's
Bale,
the best one. But anytime
Yeah, I
Bale's
wanna
on
see
screen,
more of
if
that.
I
Did
just
not
can't
expect
believe
this
Bale.
much Jimmy Smiths.
he's
Thank
confirmed for
God.
Andor, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, Andor
Thank
is gonna be like
God.
a lot of that because it's
I
a
love
Give me
lot
more
of like
Jimmy.
the
I love him.
give me Jimmy. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot more for Andor of like the Imperial Senate with like Mon Mothma and Bale and whatnot. I'm really
Yeah.
excited for that.
Yeah,
Give me
absolutely.
that political drama.
Yeah.
Got to score
we
out for those
also-
Imperial governors.
Sure.
We also, I
Provisional
skipped
governors.
over, we got Palpatine. We
Yes,
talked about
Oh my
Yes.
god, yeah, I keep forgetting
Yes.
that happened.
I thought it
Couldn't
was
believe
great
that
that
happened. I think it
Vader
looks great.
talks. I thought he looked great. Yeah, Vader
Wasn't
talks
it
to
just
Palpatine, and then like scenes later, Obi-Wan talks to Qui-Gon. I thought that was a nice little thing too. Like
Yeah. yeah.
Talking to Game
know.
Masters.
they're masters
But yeah, I think Palpatine was in
in
it
this
just enough.
this
And
room.
I
Yeah.
love how he literally was like, Vader, you're being dumb. Like, don't do this. And then Vader's like, all right.
I love
Yeah, he's, like,
that
relaxed about
pose. He's just sitting there with his hands on the armrest, just like
Jack,
yep, I'm here.
What did you think of how when it panned out and showed the whole room? Did it not look like a late '90s video game cutscene? Just the way the room looked and the
Looked
coloring.
like a full motion video.
Yeah, it looked.
Yeah, I
it
could
looked
see
very
that.
weird.
Definitely like
was
in
the
the end of
coloring.
Dark Forces, there's a moment
Yeah.
where Darth Vader's literally on his bridge of the executor.
It looked
and,
looked very copy and pasted, like 90s like corporate like upscale architecture like vibe, like kind of thing. Like this is
get
the
that.
kind of like crazy like a person who has a really nice furnished office in like finance, like that is like obsessed with the color black. Like this is what their office would look like.
There you go.
Like,
I was definitely getting
that's what it
some
looked like.
some level 10, the Imperial City and Dark Forces vibes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Very specific deep cut.
You got too highly specific answers.
Dude, we almost went an
verifiable.
entire episode without. You had already talked about Dark Forces.
Oh, I
nerds
dropped in a
didn't think-
couple at this point. That dam's broken.
The all new nerds, and I don't know, Levi, if you're still here. I don't remember what you said, Levi, but I remember like most people thought Palpatine didn't look good here, and I'm like, look great. That's what he looks like.
People are crazy.
Are other
It's
people-
way
are
better
people
than
saying that?
inserting Revenge of the Sith Palpatine into Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
This
looks
guy
not
looks
gonna
exactly
pretend-
like Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend. Well, I mean, listen. It's pretty bold to say that the original Palpatine.
I'll take monkey face Palpatine over Revenge of the
Yes.
Sith Palpatine any
Okay.
day. Sorry.
All right. Listen,
Sorry.
I love the despecialized edition, but not as the main course.
Despecialized.
But I think it's just the nature of, and like I noticed the same thing when like Mike Myers jumped in as Dr. Evil again for a thing like years back. People change, people grow and older, and like not that he was like a spring chicken in the prequel era either when he was doing his
not
Sidious
Qui-Gon.
thing. Yeah, Qui-Gon looked a little different too. Like
He looked
whatever, people get
older,
older.
right? Because he is.
Yeah, his
older,
face
so
looks a
he
little
looked-
longer.
He
It's
looked
like
fine.
fine, okay, it doesn't matter. Get over it.
His
It's
nose
still
was the
Ian
same
McDermott.
size.
It's still Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
What's your problem? Relax
Exactly.
about it. I think it's the difference of making someone look that old
He's
versus
strong.
enhancing the oldest, like the old quality that they have. You know, like McDermott is. You don't need to do much for him now to make him fill the part, and like that's
To make
fine.
him look like an old emperor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They did when
just there now.
originally Revenge of the Return of the Jedi, he was like 30 years old. So they had to make him look like an old man, and that paid off in the long run because now they can bring him back as an old man and not have to do as much.
Yeah. And obviously,
Lucas
Rise of
playing the long game.
Skywalker, he was a zombie essentially.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
could look
that was like a lot more makeup on top.
Yeah. And his eyes were like blurred out and then yellow. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what Ian McDermott looks like.
No.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
Well,
Before he
Never
puts his
seen him on a
makeup
Monday morning.
before his coffee.
had my coffee.
Or tea. Because he's British, right?
yeah, it's gonna
Is
have
he?
to be T. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
British.
okay.
Or
Palpatine isn't
Ian McDermott. Yeah. Whatever he is.
whatever
My,
he is.
my apologies, Ian.
He's
If you're listening, if
Naboo.
you're watching.
He's Nabooian.
Nabooian.
He,
Nubian.
Nubian.
Nabooian?
Nubian.
Nubian.
And,
And nobody else has got the one I did.
that was the show. We miss anything?
Let me think. Nope.
No.
Well, it was nice to know that like once you've left the Force, you can you're like kind of just always there. Like, but at the same time, that's kind of spooky because like if you finally separate yourself from the living Force and then no one can see you, that's kind
Right.
of a bummer. It's
It
guys,
is, right?
no, what are you doing? Like,
I think it's
imagine how
more like him just
Anakin
like
mu-
watching. you know,
this
just
means
watching
Anakin
over him.
had to have been there during all of Kylo's shenanigans, just being like, God
Oh, yeah.
damn it!
Come
on.
That's not what I meant. 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 That's not what I meant.
No, wait, no.
I found it interesting. I thought of this with
Brent,
Qui-Gon
you,
again.
you freaking genius, by the way. I just want to say that, Brent. You're a genius. I love your helmet theory. Anyway,
Oh yeah, I brought
Yeah,
up the
that's
helmet theory, Brent. It was well received, obviously.
Is it so much a theory or so much just good thematic connection?
Yeah, good
well,
connection.
you're a genius for noticing it because I didn't.
Yeah. It's
All right.
simple.
The Qui-Gon says, "What took you so long, right? Or it took you long enough? What is? I
Took
don't
you long
remember.
enough. The
took
first
you
thing
long-
he says to
But it's funny
Obi-Wan-
because Qui-Gon always preached patience. Like his first line in Episode 1, I think, is like "Patience, Obi-Wan," or he always says patience. But then he's like, "Took you long enough."
The living Force here where it belongs.
when you're immortal,
Well,
patience is out the window.
as he's also always was preaching patience, but he knew that Obi-Wan like moved quickly, and so he was very surprised that Obi-Wan hadn't connected with him yet. That's why he's just like, really? After all that time, you actually took my advice?
Yeah, that's a good point. But
Should have this figured out for now.
this show. I think this show. The main takeaway, because a lot of people have been talking about like, oh, what was the point of Obi-Wan Kenobi? What was the point of the show? And I think the point of the show was to have Qui-Gon
To entertain me.
Well, yes, but to have Qui-Gon to have Obi-Wan actually finally let go. Because
Yeah.
in A New Hope, he seems freer. He's not afraid of Vader anymore. He doesn't seem like he's like broken up about anything. And my theory, to become a Force ghost, the main thing you need to do is let go of everything. That's what, Luke does to become a Jedi. That's what Leia does right before she dies and becomes a Force ghost. That's what Ben does right before he dies and becomes a Force ghost. That's what Anakin does right before he dies and becomes a Force ghost. He shouldn't be a Force ghost. If anybody, Vader shouldn't be a Force ghost. But there has to be like some kind of threshold, some kind of trial that you have to cross into. And that's exactly what it is. And this was Obi-Wan's trial. Obi-Wan had to go through something similar. He had to let go of, Anakin and his grief, but he also had to let go of Luke and Leia. And he does, he lets go of Leia. He drops her off. He says goodbye. He lets go of Luke. He says, he's in your hands. He's in good, he's protected with them and with Owen and Beru, instead of, him feeling like he needs to watch him and take care of him so much. He feels freer, I guess, at the end of the series. And
well, it's funny, like when this show started, when this show was announced and when they announced Hayden was going to be in the cast, it raised a lot of questions, and a lot of people, myself included, were skeptical, thinking, oh, well, that doesn't line up with what Vader says, because he says, when I left you, I was but the learner, and now I'm the master, so that doesn't mean you can't do a show about that. And no, actually, it turns out this show very much strengthens that thematic element. It strengthens the way Obi-Wan sees Vader at this point. He is more machine than man. Anakin is dead.
And it strengthens the line from Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan once thought as you did.
Yeah.
I mean, it strengthens more from the original trilogy than it contradicts. I know a lot of people, my dad and Zach included, couldn't stop complaining about, he knows Leia. Why didn't Leia say something in the message to him? Why is she so formal with him?
Because it was easier to guilt trip him about his time serving Bail with the Clone Wars. Like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't undo anything.
I don't think so either. And I specifically think they put a line into the show when he says goodbye to Leia. He specifically tells her, if you need my help again, reach out, but don't let anybody know. Don't tell anybody.
Exactly.
And
I feel both of us.
I feel like that was kind of like her sneaking, oh yeah, you helped my father and he's asking for help and I totally don't know you, but my dad does.
Wink, wink. That's not animal.
But
Well, yeah, it's like the same way that Rogue One satisfies a lot of questions about how the Death Star plans were achieved and everything.
Exactly.
But then it also brings up like
step on any toes.
The biggest thing. Well, it does step on some toes because all of a sudden Leia was at the Battle of Scarif. She runs away, and then at the beginning of New Hope, Vader's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, we're on a diplomatic mission." And he's like,
That's
"I just saw you at the battle. Run away with the plan. What are you talking about?"
That's a throwaway line. It's
no, I know, but
good.
And I don't.
Well, no, but it actually doesn't. It doesn't, because that's why Vader knows to call her on her bluff. Because if he was just chasing her down because she's Leia Organa and he knows that she's part of a rebel cell, he wouldn't have anything to go on. Not that it matters much to the Empire, so it's not the strongest argument in the world. But it makes more sense.
Now.
Well, you are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor, because he knows. Because like, bitch, I just saw you.
True, but he also says in A New Hope that they saw that the ship had received the transmission for the Death Star. So it's not like he doesn't already know that she's a rebel. It's just that she has the gall to be like, no, we're just on a diplomatic mission and we just happen to, stumble on Scarif.
It just shows Leia's strength. She's just there. She will just say what she needs to. And so
do you think she's wearing the holster under the space dress in A New Hope?
Nah.
No.
I did see
I did see someone point out though that there's a metal piece on the holster that is very similar to the pieces that are on the belt that she wears with that dress in A New Hope. Now, I mean, like, there's multiple pieces of that thing on that belt. There's like 5 or so of them, and they're a little bit different size, but it looks like it's very inspired by that. No, not 5s. Come on, where's your brain? Yeah, so I think that's what
I didn't know Deep Bradley Baker was here.
I just love when
I made a good costume observation.
No, I liked
whenever you make a good observation, I always think makes weird eye contact with Matt and make a dumb joke. eye contact through the computer.
You guys make eye contact through a computer screen.
But I really did like your point, Jamie. I liked it.
Yeah, I think it's Wiccan inspired, and like she'll always remember Tala and everything that she did for her, and because that was like her first big loss that she really experienced. So
I was
It
almost
just cracked
wondering
me
if
up when she's like,
Tala's-
"Where's my blaster?" And Obi-Wan had to remind her, "Leia, you're 10 years old. Relax about it."
Yeah.
I like that.
I
a
love
lot.
that.
Has anybody ever said years? Usually they say
don't know.
rotations, but this
just
was
said
you're
10.
years. No, I know, but that's I think as
And he
far
said
as I can
10-year-old.
tell, he said
Years.
yeah, you're 10 years old.
Well, I
They
mean,
never really
years
say
in the
years.
Star Wars universe is
Breaking
like a
news,
don't.
they said
You
years.
don't want to think about it because
Yeah,
year
no.
as a concept is something that we think of in an earthly state, but that only
Wait, doesn't
matters
she-
because we're on Earth. It wouldn't
Don't they say
matter
it in
if
A
you
New
were on a
Hope?
different planet.
Don't look too far
Years
into
ago,
it.
you served my father in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, many years
Yeah.
ago, you said my father
Yep.
in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
That's the
Debunked
thing,
in the
don't
first
think about it
5 minutes
because
of the film.
if you start thinking about it, then you have to go, oh well, then how many years am I when I'm on Tatooine versus how many years old am I when
Yeah.
I'm on,
Well,
on
the-
this planet?
in-
I'm
You
pretty
know?
sure they
Indian-
use Coruscant as like a galactic standard, and
Coruscant-y.
Coruscant is literally
That's
like
very
365
central galaxy
days.
of them.
It
In
is.
the immortal
that is.
words of our friend
Central.
Pesto Porg, don't think too hard about it. Just
Relax
don't
about
think
it.
too hard about it.
I never think
Yeah.
too hard.
There's a space slug that has an entire ecosystem in its stomach. Relax about it.
Slugs? Worms?
Dogworm for sale.
Hey, dung worms.
I did it. I said the magic word.
ding, ding, ding.
This is now PG's Pee Wee's Playhouse. You
Hey,
said
this-
I wanted the dog.
This has been our least Pee Wee's Playhouse episode so far. I'm bored over here. We're talking about the episode. It's not.
I know, what are we
goofball time.
doing?
Oh
guys?
my
What are we
God.
doing?
Should I play the Qui-Gon thing again? People that
Absolutely.
didn't
Yeah.
see it. All right, it's
Yeah,
very loud, everyone. If you have new people in here, it's loud for some
Turn
reason.
your volume
so
down
be
just a little
careful.
bit.
No,
Here it
don't
It'll
comes.
be really quiet, then really loud.
Here it comes.
Obi-Wan,
Everything has been quiet, Master.
I'm looking for a T-14 hyperdrive generator. The door is open. Let's go.
It's so stupid. Only like 4 people understand it.
Obi-Wan's shaking of the head is the perfect example.
He's like, oh, there he
my
is. He's
God.
back.
The zoom in is what sells the whole
The
video.
zoom in.
It's so perfect. Oh my God, dude.
Guys, so do you think if I bring this cup to the movie
Oh,
theater, will they refill it for me?
They better.
Why wouldn't they?
It's from like 1999.
Cups here. Fill it up.
Fill it up.
Cups here. Let's go. It even has like the Naboo, like
Why?
Oh yeah, the Naboo logo.
the Naboo.
Why
like,
does it have the
writing.
Naboo logo?
I don't know, or whatever
That's
that's
The
amazing.
one. Look
Because
at
it's
that.
Naboo Cola. It's made in Naboo.
Long story short, if they start offering the Qui-Gon Jinn lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge, like to vote, everyone vote for it so we can all buy it. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of my
we
favorite
each- we
lightsaber
each need
designs
one.
out there.
We
I
each
need Qui-Gon. I need me a Qui-Gon to complete the set. The 3
Sure.
boys.
Yeah, you got your Obi-Wan back there.
Yep. Especially
guess
the
you-
episode 1. That's my favorite.
Yeah. That's
Oh
a
yeah,
good one.
episode 1's Obi-Wan. And episode 2. He has it in episode 2.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Well, episode
that's the
2 and
best
3.
Lightsaber
It
design.
like it took me way too long, like 25 plus years, to figure out that Luke's lightsaber and Obi-Wan's later hilt are like literally the exact same thing.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
he must have had he had a spare, I guess.
yeah, I mean, I think it was
You
it
make
was
it
like
look like your masters.
the prop
I thought that was
department
always
was
the-
like, we
He
already have
literally-
Obi-Wan's saber. Let's just give it to Luke. And they were like, all right, let's tweak
Yeah.
it a little bit.
It's
That's probably
so
what they did.
similar. And every time I look at it, I'm like, I can't tell the differences apart.
I'll be
Yeah,
honest,
it's
I,
like-
didn't, I didn't even know that was like a thing until like maybe the past
love
like
that
5
deleted
years
scene.
that the Padawan uses the Master's influence on their lightsaber builds.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
really.
It's
something
not
that's like
always
not really like talked
the
about.
case.
Really,
Ben
but
Solo's
yeah.
looks nothing like Luke's.
I mean,
It kind of looks like his mom's.
Yoda is more. I mean,
Oh, it does,
Luke
yeah.
is Luke
Yeah.
has barely
Yes.
gotten any training from an actual master. The man got a 20-minute lesson from Obi-Wan on the Falcon, and then he got anywhere between a day
He took the
to
online
a
course.
month's worth of training
He
from
took
Yoda.
the right away course.
Yep. No, he did.
And he's
Correspondence course
he's
with
apparently the best
lightsaber.
Jedi ever.
Oh
Yes,
my
Millie.
God.
But again, I
Luke
don't
built
worry
it
about it.
in the cave in deleted scene. And
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Exactly. No,
Um,
it's a great little scene, and I mean they
It is.
chose a green
3PO's like,
lightsaber
"Ooh."
because the way film
Guy.
works, film stock. When you back in the day, the way they would rotoscope, which is the term for going literally little film frame by
Frame by
film frame,
frame.
drawing in stuff. When they would draw in lightsabers, they couldn't get a blue lightsaber to work against the desert. And that is why you never see a blue lightsaber in Tatooine and New Hope, except for like in the cantina because they couldn't get the blue to work against the blue background of the sky. So they're like, all right, let's make it a green lightsaber, and that'll work because then we can use that outside without having to worry about it, because just the way they would dye the film, it would not show up.
And then they put Luke on a forest moon,
Yep.
surrounded by
And
green.
then they're like,
In
Great job,
California.
guys.
Green and green. I'm like, wait a minute, wait, what? It's a what kind of moon? Oh, damn it.
The sanctuary moon.
Damn. Sanctuary moon.
oh yes.
I love the sanctuary moon.
Shall I make our little announcement?
Yeah.
The announcement is Matt is getting a new mask. No,
Not yet.
Oh,
not yet.
We'll get him
But
there.
we were talking about Shadow of the Sith earlier, the book coming out from Adam Christopher.
Ooh.
Very, I know, Matt, it was really up there for things you're looking forward to, obviously.
My
It
most anticipated thing.
comes out for audiobooks and in print at stores, at your local store next Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Jamie?
Tuesday.
Yep.
Tuesday.
June 28th.
But-
Tuesday.
For some reason, Adam Christopher likes us a lot, loves Jamie and her cosplay, so I think that's where we got the attention.
Yeah, friend
but
of the show, Adam Christopher.
Friend of the
Oh,
show.
in
that's
July,
awesome.
He's gonna be on the
we're
show.
going to be interviewing him about the book. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
we're
very
super
fun.
pumped. Super
Is it-
pumped.
You guys are gonna have a great
Had
time.
to
Book
go
comes
through a
out on
couple of
Tuesday. Sometime in July,
to do
we
it.
will post our little interview with Adam, and it'll be great. So look forward to that coming in the future. So you guys got a month to read this book at most, just so you know, because we are going to no holds talk about
You
it.
signed my poster. Look,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some motivation.
to
you
Matt.
said to Matt.
May
To
the
Matt, may the
force
force
be
be
with-
with you.
To
You said
Watto.
that to me.
Matt, I'm
I'm
just
gonna-
saying, if you flip the M upside down and add an O, your name's Watto.
Matto.
Maddo.
Matto.
Wow.
Have you set Matt's name to Wumbo?
Yeah,
Oh
if you set
my
it to
God,
Wumbo, your name's
no.
Watto.
What are we doing? You guys are having an existential crisis.
Good.
No.
Oh my
That's
god.
an existential crisis.
You're just going.
Oh my god. Yeah.
We're back,
Hitting all the
guys. It's
buttons.
Pee-wee's Playhouse. We're back.
So, what from here? So Kenobi is over,
Yeah, it's over.
which means streams are over for the time being until
Stream's
new
over.
content.
Let's
Stream's
go.
over. Let's go.
Wait,
but
doesn't
really,
Andor come out in August?
Yes.
Yep.
So we're
Yes.
gonna
August
be away from you
31st.
guys for like a month. and a
a
half,
month or
2
so.
months.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do something in July. Maybe not. Don't count on it. We'll be around.
Well, no, we might talk about the summer Lego thing.
Yeah.
we've
Oh,
done
right.
those.
Right.
That'll be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that'd
As
be
a
fun.
stream. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Andor comes out in
Done.
August. Bad Batch comes out in September, and then Tales of the Jedi also comes out in the fall. There's gonna be a lot of content all the time. I'm not sure
Gonna be-
logistically how we're gonna live stream it all, because
We're gonna be streaming 24/7.
that's a lot. That is a lot.
We have to maybe we combine it to a couple two.
That's gonna be pure chaos, because you know who's
gonna
gonna
be
want
tough.
to talk about what? I'm just gonna want to talk about the Bad Batch, and that's
You're gonna
it.
want to talk about
So,
Bad Batch.
Andor's
gonna be
gonna
talking
be a
about
tremendous
Andor.
show.
Yeah.
We'll have to get Bad Batch out of the way first if we do that.
Yeah,
Good lord. It's gonna be rough,
Yeah,
but
existing.
Andor's gonna be good.
We'll make it work.
Oh, I'm so excited for Andor. It looks so good. Fun fact that I learned: the planet that Andor is, the Cassian is born on, is a planet featured in Dark Forces.
What
It's
planet?
it's
Hey.
level 4.
What's it called?
Oh shoot, my keyboard
Level
isn't
4.
working. So you put me on the spot.
No, don't worry.
Uh,
It's just because I've been making a
Let me
map.
try to look it up.
Level 4 Dark Forces, and look, it looks completely different. It's like an Imperial base, so it's all like white concrete and stuff, and plus it's from a video game from like
Fest?
1998. Fest, yes, that's it. Thank
Fest.
you. Fest is the
name.
planet
Fest.
name,
Yes.
and like where we see it is like the foresty area of outside any sort of like architecture. But if we see anything close to like what's in that level, I will flip out, because especially with Cassian being a similar influence to there's literally a shot of him leaning up against the rebel map thing with the green and the glass that is like shot for shot out of Dark Forces. And of course Cassian Andor has a jacket very similar to Kyle, steals the Death Star plans. I'm just saying this might
He's got it.
satisfy some it's Kyle Katarn's not going to
Wait
show
a
up,
second.
Don't
but
get
I'm
your
just
hopes
happy
up.
to see all these influences tying him more to being Kyle, because him and Jan Ors always felt like a pretty darn close reference, and I would love to see more of that.
That's a good point.
I think it's
bad
very
Andor can't
intentional
show
that he
up,
was born on
Pizza
Fest
Cat.
of all places.
Nothing ties a stream up like Jack talking about Dark Forces and Dallin talking
I got a
about
bunch in. I was.
Dash Rendar.
Dash Rendar.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
I still
We
gotta
need a
play that.
Dash
so.
Rendar analog. We have Cassian Andor is our Kyle Katarn analog, but where's our Dash Rendar analog?
It's coming.
Han Solo.
It's true.
Actually, you're right. I'm sorry. It's Han Solo. In canon.
Kyle is also Han Solo.
I didn't even hit that
Everybody's
one.
Han Solo. You didn't
Is
hit
it-
that? Who hit
No,
that?
I was holding
Nobody.
Qui-Gon. That was
All
Jared.
Worst
right,
part, best and worst part of the '90s. We need a character. We need. Well, let's make him cool. Gruff, maybe he's like kind of like a smugglery. Because God damn it, we made Han Solo again.
Literally, that's it. It always ends up with that, and they're like, "Oh my god,
Ah, it's Han
he's
Solo
just
again.
so cool.
let's make 150 years in the future. Let's make a Skywalker character. What's he gonna be? A gruff smuggler bounty hunter kind of guy. Oh, okay,
Son of
cool.
a bitch! it's
Damn it,
Han
we made
again.
Han Solo again.
Right.
We
Anyway,
can't escape him.
this is it for the Obi-Wan Kenobi stream. We'll see you guys next time with a live stream. We'll let you know when it's gonna happen. Stay tuned to our channel for more podcast content and more stuff like that. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Stream's over.
Bye.
Let's go.